Good morning. So, I just wanted to show you the progress that's been made so far with the forge. So, the only thing that's happened so far is the brake drum that I bought for about £5 has been welded onto the piping. That it's early days yet, as you'll see in a second. It's basically just in a cardboard box, just so I can get the sizes right for when the brake drum sits inside the oil drum. But I tried it out with the hairdryer a minute ago, and actually there's some really good airflow through it. So the grill that I had, I was worried at first that the air wouldn't actually push through the grill properly, but in actual fact, there's more than enough there. In fact, it's a little bit too powerful at the moment, to be fair. So that's good. So I'll show you now. So as you can see, the drum is actually just sitting inside a cardboard box at the moment, but you can see the sort of general layout of it there. So my good mate Troy today welded the piping together for me. So he just cut a 2-foot steel pipe and at an angle, and then just welded the two parts together to make an L shape, and then that's been welded to the actual brake drum itself, as you can see. I still haven't put the nuts and the bolts into the brake drum itself. That's another job I need to do, and I need to go and grab some for that. I'm trying to get them as a freebie at the moment to keep the cost down, because at the moment all this has cost me is about £5, so it's been pretty successful. And I'm getting the oil drum for free as well. The cast iron grill itself just came from an old chimney that we've got in the garden, so that was pretty good. And as you can see, it fits like a glove as well on the actual brake drum, which is good. I'm not going to weld that down. I think I'm just going to keep that loose because it's not going to move around anyway when the fire's going, and it fits in quite nicely and is fairly secure in there, so that's good. Hair dry it. So I'll turn it on and I'll show you what I mean in terms of the airflow. So this is just that it's on the lowest setting I've got. This is my girlfriend's hairdryer. So you can't actually tell, but there's plenty of air coming out of there at the moment. Even when the grill is on as well, there's actually a really steady, nice airflow coming out of there, which is perfect. So I think the sizes that I've gone for there are just about right, I think. I can't actually turn it down any lower than that, so that's I'll get another hairdryer that's got an adjustable dial, or get someone to make an adjustable dial, because I'm not actually sure how to do it, but that is pretty good so far. And I cut the hole in the actual cardboard itself just to make sure that the piping that I've already welded together actually fits into the hole, and it's fine, so that's okay. On the highest setting, that's a bit too much, but yeah, there's a lovely little bit of airflow coming out of there, and that's where we are so far with it. So all I need to do now really is get the oil drum and then angle grind the hole in the oil drum and cut the 6 inches off the top of the oil drum that we'll need, and that will essentially be where the cardboard box is now, and secure the whole thing together. Once that's done, I'll show you another video of the finished article. But thanks for watching. Cheers. Alright, just a development on the forge pan. You see the fire pot over there. So I just went at the little cast iron grill, the angle grinder, for about 10 minutes, and here's the result. So you can't really see very well from here, but I've sort of shredded the edges before it was sort of sitting on top of the lip. Now, as you can see, there's a hole here, and the grill goes right down into the fire pot now because I've ground the edges and it will fit. So that's stuck fast. So obviously when I'm moving work in and out of the fire pot, it's not going to move the grill, and an ash is going to go down into the pipe, so that's useful. And it's still wobbly a little bit just because of where the pipe's welded on to the brake drum, but for the most part that's going to stay still, and you can see I can rub things over it and it's just going to stay in place. So that's that done. Easy fix. I've got the oil drum now as well. Got that from a MOT garage yesterday. Luckily they were literally just sapping off the last of the oil in it, so I left it overnight upside down and just sort of filled all the oil into a milk bottle. So that's the last of the engine oil out of there. Once it's completely drained, I'm just going to take 6 inches off the top of the oil drum here to use as the actual pan itself. But I'm just waiting for the rest of that residue oil just to drop out, because I don't want sparks or anything from the grinder to ignite the oil, obviously. So, yep, watch this space. I'll show you once the pan's been properly grinded out. Right, after a lot of work today, here is the finished article. So, basically, I've just used the rest of the oil drum like temporarily for it to rest on. It's actually not secure, so I probably won't leave it on there for the long term. But I've cut a hole in it anyway, just so you can see where the piping sits, and see if I wanted to obviously check the airflow and all that. I've got a place to do it, and I can just put the hairdryer in there. It's a good fit, and the actual drum itself is nice and secure in there. Just go and grab the grill wherever I've left that. So that's the final addition. Excuse the mess. So in it goes. Fits nice and secure. And that's the fire pan. I didn't actually find any bolts in the end for those for the holes in the actual brake drum itself, but I'm not actually sure it's going to matter, because the grill actually covers those holes pretty substantially anyway, as you can see. It's not actually going to make a lot of difference, I don't think, so I'm just going to leave it for now. And then the last bit of work I did was just to cut a sort of semicircle in there, just so you can see where the work sits. So it actually just sort of sits on that latch at an angle, and as you can see, it's quite a nice angle to sit the metal at. Not too high, but also not too dipped into the fire where the oxygen flow is as well. So that's good. That's pretty much the finished article now. There's not really much more I can do to it other than actually potentially weld the base on and secure it to the oil drum, or just I might just build some legs for the oil drum that I've sawed off itself, and then have legs on it. So, but yeah, that's it pretty much. When I start burning stuff on it, I'll make another video. But cheers.